and then said, I have AIDS. Then they got married, then she died.
Did she leave because she didn't want to give him AIDS? Like... I thought it's because she didn't feel she deserved such a good life and a good man.
No, it's because she didn't want to get married to a mentally retarded person, which is understandable. But, you know, yeah. But that's the thing. Yes, I do have a lot of Dr. Pepper, okay? And the joke I was going to make before the recording rudely interrupted me was like, yes, I'm like Forrest Gump with Dr. Pepper, just as retarded as well. I will drink as... You know what?
I don't know.
Not as retarded as some.
Shed's competing.
Not as retarded as some, though.
I'm tired again!
This is the second time, dude.
Oh, do you know what time I was up to this time? 5 a.m. But this was like, I don't think it's I was really tired, and I went to bed at 10 thinking, hey, I'm a good boy, go to bed early. And I slept really deeply, and I woke up at 12, having like a full REM cycle thing, and there was no chance of me getting back to sleep.
Oh.
I was like, that screwed me up so bad. And I couldn't get to sleep until 5 a.m.
I went to bed at 12, woke up at 6, and I was great. I'm feeling great today. I'm having much earlier sleeps. I'm feeling great. I'm feeling fantastic.
So people were asking why I was so weird in the last video.
What was Shad smoking?
It's because this is what happens when I'm tired. And it might be the same thing in this video.
Shad would never smoke anything illegal. It's medicinal PCP.
They did like a test, testing like... things that come from tiredness versus things that happen when you're drunk, and there was actually like a correlation.
Yeah, it's the equivalent of having a... Yeah.
So it means I'm a little drunk.
Well, not really.
He's like, I got an excuse.
It means you stayed up past your bedtime, which is just as bad for a woman. So. All right, so we're nightly. Well, we're.
Wait, the drop.
Yeah.
Now you can go.
Nice. That was actually, I like that.
Go.
Greetings.
What?
I'm Oz.
No. Well.
Fine. Greetings.
No. It's welcome back to the watch.
Oh, I'm sorry. I do it the proper way every time. Do the proper way. You do it proper way.
See, I'm acting retarded, but you just are.
Yeah. Oz can't help it.
At least I'm being true to who I am, like a white woman. You go then.
Welcome back to the watch. We are Nightly News. I'm doing like a ASMR. It's like, welcome back to Nightly News. I need to get really close to the mic.
Yeah, don't do that though, because we need to get really close to the news and the events. And
we get close.
Do
we touch tips?
We go in.
What, Nathan? Nathan, wait. Okay, first of all, stop stealing my job. Okay. Secondly, you know what? Not bad. Okay. Also, kind of gay. And then we just touched it. I'm never washing this hand. All right.
There's lots of news.
Not lots of news, yeah.
But you know what people have to remember about Nightly News?
What?
We are not news.
We're not news. We read other people's news.
Yeah, and we just react to it, give our opinions. And in fact, we're so uninformed, and we don't want to be authoritative sources.
Yeah.
We purposely put in false news articles that we react to, so you won't know what's true and what's not, and you have to do your own research.
Yep, because...
you lazy bastards!
As far as the spectrum goes, we're considered, You're
not really bastards, I didn't mean that, I'm sorry.
Centre conservative.
Maybe some of you are.
And so,
look,
and
I'm
so
sure...
And so for us...
Some of our audience,
and so for
there's
us,
at least a couple of lazy bastards in there!
Authoritative source, we would be kicked off YouTube, so we can't do that, because we're not the left. See, I challenged him that time. We're not gonna take it.
I got what I needed to say. Oh no, that was fun.
All right, so what's new in the news? This might be you might be getting this video first or this one first. Who knows? But the Miss Marvel trailer came out.
We did a reaction to it.
We did.
Stay tuned for it because
which is coming out first? This
Nightly News will be coming out first.
Okay.
So stay tuned for the Miss Marvel reaction.
Miss Marvel. Yeah, she's not married. I have a problem with the two reasons. I do. I'm with you 100%.
Well, how old is she? What, 14?
I would say 14, 15.
Still.
According to Muslim standards, she should be married by now.
She should be married by now. She's 7 years past date.
I wasn't going to go that far.
Okay, that's getting cut, but that's going to my second channel. Well, I'm just saying, hang on.
We make fun. We're Mormons. We make fun of ourselves, and that gives us a pass to make fun of other religions too.
Mm-hmm. And
we're all quirky in our own ways. Although, if you want to talk about quirky, Mormons, right?
Well, to be fair, right? Based on our religion, our quirks are justified. Same with Islam.
Oh yeah. But also, our quirks are the most accurate to biblical theology than anything else. You want to talk about temples and temple ordinances? It's all in the Bible. It's there.
Yeah. And, Muslims would argue the same thing about their religion, and so would Jews, and Catholics would laugh at you, be like, what? We don't care about this shit.
Yeah. Transubstantiation, supererogation.
Yeah. The priest would just be like, I'm just here for the hot kids.
As Mormons are here for all the wives.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah, we're waiting. Right, so yeah.
All right.
Miss Marvel trailer.
All right. There's like a 3 dichotomy, or what? No, dichotomy's 2. I don't know. Try quality thing.
Threesome.
Yeah, threesome. We'll go with that. Muslims, young marrying, Catholics,
extremely young but not married.
young boys, Mormons, lots of wives. If you had to pick, which one would you go for? I'm just saying.
Well, I mean, the position I'm in now, young marrying. Oh no, I mean like getting married when I'm young. Because I'm 24 and I'm a Mormon and I'm not married, which is pathetic.
Did you know...
As Brigham...
Brigham Young said?
Go.
I mean, I feel like you can do it better because you got the beard as well.
He said a lot of good things.
Yeah, he said that...
Brigham Young was flipping based, man.
If you're over 24 and not married, you're a scum to society.
No, you're a menace to society.
I know I'm a menace. I'm just glad I'm not scum. All right.
Brigham Young was based. And look, by the way, Mormons actually don't practice polygamy.
Not anymore.
But we can joke about it.
The second God says do it.
But we do have a doctrine that justifies it, because if you don't, then how can you explain that God was okay with Abraham? And yes, Moses. Moses had more than one wife. People don't know that. It's an Ethiopian woman.
But we do have rules like don't have a list prepared for
Yeah,
when
well,
it's okay.
basically, it's against the commandments of God to practice polygamy unless he specifically commands it. And there are instances which he has, like with Abraham.
Yeah. But are you allowed to have a list prepared for just in case he gives the go-ahead?
Oh, I don't think it
I feel like that's bad. What is it? Lust in your heart is...
Oh, yeah, that's
Oh, yeah,
right.
yeah,
Shouldn't, you're right. I'm
You
right.
shouldn't lust after them, but, if you got a
Unless
few
it's
friends...
Natalie Dormer, that's fine.
We got off topic, but it's all
did, yeah.
Miss Marvel's fault.
Miss Marvel trailer, finally a Muslim superhero. Everyone's
The first, because everything has to be the first, right? And because clearly Captain Marvel was the first female superhero. There was no female superhero before Miss Marvel.
Yeah.
But because they banged on that drum so much, they can't really do it for Miss Marvel, but they can do first Muslim superhero. And I'm not too sure about that. I'm just saying, Blade, he gives me some Muslim vibes.
Okay, first Muslim superhero. Why'd they give him a crappy costume and crappy superpower? Why not give him something cool?
Yeah, or Explosion Man, he gives me some Muslim vibes.
Come on.
I'm sure there's an Explosion Man somewhere in comics.
That's racist.
Nothing is. I'm taking a leaf out of your book.
There is an X-Men who his superpower is he can explode once, and then he's dead. That's his power. He's portrayed by a white kid in the comic, which is just unbelievable.
Bakugo from My Hero Academia, his power is explosions. He could be. Though he is Japanese, and we know how Japanese feel about Muslims, so...
Yeah, there's a bit of it's Vietnamese too. That's a big problem in Vietnam. Yeah, I thought that
we are against discrimination against Muslims and anyone of any religious or anything, unless they're the crazy types.
Well, even then, I'm not going to criticise the crazy types because I want to live. Or should we get into the bloody... So the trailer came out, it looks like crap, and they could have done a
And
much
we've got
better
a
job.
review.
Well, we've got a review, and it's coming out soon.
Yes.
Surprisingly, somehow more racist than everything we just said. In just as short a time. So
They're jokes, people!
And they're jokes.
Lighten up!
Yeah, and hey, don't say that to... Look, we love you guys. Feel free to comment down below some Mormon jokes.
Yeah, best Mormon jokes.
And we'll actually read them.
Yeah, we will.
I'll reply to the best ones.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
So yeah, the trailer came out. Looks like crap. They could have done a better job. They didn't. Looks awful. So, William Hurt dies age 71.
Which one was he? They all blur.
He was General Ross.
Oh, okay, yeah. I've seen those things. I don't know anything about him. Look, I'm a bit divided, right? Why should I care more about his death versus someone I don't know across Australia? Right? To me,
you don't know.
they're equally disconnected from me, and I should have equivalent sympathy for someone who
but
died.
you don't know that person.
So I don't think he deserves more sympathy than the sympathy I would be willing to give someone that
He's not asking
my
for more
my
sympathy.
friend's cousin's nephew's uncle passed away. It's like,
not
that's
asking.
tragic. I'm sorry for that, but
Yeah,
I'm not
you
going
know
to.
this one.
I don't know him.
You've
I
seen
know of him.
You know this person exists.
That's
No, he's
it.
dead.
I don't know anything about his personal life. He is actor person.
Like, he probably deserves, like, in terms of famous people, and deaths, he probably deserves more than, like, a serial killer.
Of course.
But not less than a person you don't know.
But I think not more than a person who led a good, honourable life supporting their family.
Who's
like,
to say he didn't?
Like a mother or a father. I don't. That's the
This is
thing.
prejudice.
No,
This is
if
prejudice.
he did,
Prejudice!
actually,
You prejudge this man.
no. You know why?
I got a whiff of that, thanks. Chicken.
The statistical, if we were to go on to what is statistically more likely with Hollywood celebrities,
Don't argue statistics, man. You go some bad places.
there's a higher chance of, unfortunately, because most Hollywood celebrities are jerks.
Well, we don't know
There's
that
the
about
odd one
this
out
guy.
that's really good, like Chris Hemsworth. He's good value.
How do you know that?
Because I know more about his personal life and
Okay.
him as an individual. Also,
I'll say Hugh Jackman.
Keanu Reeves.
Hugh Jackman.
He's
He's a great guy.
He's a good value people that I know enough about him to be able to say that these seem like decent people. And then there's the colossal a-holes that are just horrible people. And that seems to be, unfortunately, more representative of a lot of Hollywood celebrities, especially the preachy ones that want to, tell us how to,
Yeah, but
that we're misogynist.
as far as where I'm sitting, there's no indication of that. And
Well, look, he could be a good guy, and but I don't know enough. Like I said,
but so why judge? Why just be like, oh, rest in peace?
yeah.
man?
But this is also why I'm not gonna go out go overly sympathetic. I know it's tragic. The standard sympathy I'd give to anyone is tragic. Sorry that he died. Hope he was a good person. Hope his family is, will be able to bear the loss, and that's about
But at the
it.
same time, why should I care if it was just a regular person?
No, that's as much sympathy I'd give to a regular person as well that I don't know. But if I know more about him, more sympathy. And he doesn't deserve any more sympathy than that just because he was famous.
I didn't say let's all cry, but
Well-
it's a famous guy. He was a good actor. Let's rest in peace to that guy.
Yeah,
That's
but
what
we're
I'm saying.
reporting his death in our nightly news segment, not the death of someone in the church. They had someone pass away close to them.
Yeah,
Like that,
someone
like
we
a
don't
parent.
know.
I know, like a parent of theirs or
We
something.
literally have a joke in here,
I know.
and I'm going to break it because I can come up with funnier stuff in the meantime, right?
Mm-hmm.
That Franz Ferdinand died. We have a joke in here for that. Why is that noteworthy? It happened 100 years
Because
ago.
his death is significant and it might lead to a world war. We need
all we know,
need to talk
dude,
about Franz Ferdinand.
This guy was General Ross.
Well, actually, that's a good point.
This could cause the
hap-
Marvel
Holy
Civil
crap.
War.
Well, no, that could be a good thing. Because he was so in favour of the Sokovia Accords, and we know how much the Sokovia Accords are screwing us. Like, Captain America, I'm just saying, could do some really useful things in Ukraine, alright?
Can I-
But it's the Sokovia Accords that are not letting him go in!
Can I have a little bit of a tiny
Go,
conspiracy?
go.
The Sokovia Accords in the Marvel was their version of Great Reset. That's my opinion. They have to warn us in advance. And that was
What do you
the
mean
one.
in Marvel?
In Marvel, it's like,
The Sokovia Accords are a real thing.
of course they are.
Yeah, of course.
Just like other world events that are
Yeah.
happening right now. Okay, so Microsoft, which is, oh man, this is gonna. I'm not gonna say it actually. Can I tell you guys what it was gonna be? It's a nickname for my penis. Microsoft testing ads in Windows 11 File Explorer. So in File Explorer,
But I thought that in File Explorer, but isn't Disney going to be testing ads in Disney Plus as well?
those are two different things, Shad.
But they're very related. But
No, they're
so
not.
you're not getting mistaken. This is like you didn't think Disney Plus had said it is Microsoft.
Well, good point. Whereas instead of going to Disney Plus and seeing ads when trying to watch like The Mandalorian, I'll be going through my downloaded torrents thing and there'll be an ad and I'll watch Mandalorian and still be there. So yeah, good point.
Anyway, it's very scummy.
Yeah, absolutely.
They suck out enough blood from us like vampires.
That's a
getting
conspiracy theory,
all
Shad.
the money that they can get at. And then they want to get more, like, especially the Disney Plus thing. You pay for the service. That's what you don't need to pay any more by giving your time, paying through giving time to friggin' ads. Disgusting.
Yeah, it's like property taxes.
I think Windows is going to turn into like a 90s internet browser with all the pop-up ads, and we're all going to switch to either Mac or Linux.
And let me just say,
please.
I don't mind ads if you haven't already paid for the thing, okay? Because that's actually how you pay for essentially free content, like on YouTube. You know, there are ads, and I like that YouTube. You can have the freedom to skip most of them, not all of them. All right, but if you've already paid for the service, that's when you shouldn't get ads. I'm like, what?
But with YouTube, right? I use a lot of data on my phone, right? And so like I literally have nightmares where I'm in my dream and a pop-up comes up. Do you want to subscribe to YouTube? Premium.
Yeah.
Like I'm sick of the thing coming up. I hate it. It happens at least every minute. Yeah. So ads in Microsoft Windows 11. More of the same.
I'm holding out so hard to not switch to 11. I will not switch to 11 until they force me to, and even then, I will switch to Linux.
There's a Windows 11 now?
Yeah.
I thought Windows 10 was going to be the last thing,
No.
and they just continue
Windows
upgrading.
11
Yeah,
has
it's a
come out and
platform for
stuff.
10 years. They always say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, well, once they make me switch, I'm switching away from just Microsoft.
These tech oligarchies, monopolies, like, whoa, talk about dystopia future. We are getting close.
Oh, that's a conspiracy theory show.
Oh, it's like the amount of power and influence they have over our lives. Seriously, Facebook, Google have more power than the American government
I'd like to see some proof.
to influence world things.
That sounds like a conspiracy theory to me, dude. How infuriating is that? Because you know that's true, because you've seen all the info on it. Anyway, unrelated to literally any other situation in life. Speaking of Microsoft as well, kind of loosely based, the Halo TV show, early reviews, is at, and this is just the critics who received it, 57% on Rotten Tomatoes.
And
Even
these
the
are
critics.
like the shill critics.
Yes.
And it's that low.
Yes.
Oh,
There's information came out.
There's two ways this could be the case. How they get the 50%, right? It could be legitimately awful. There's a tiny chance. It's tiny. I'm admitting that. So this isn't a big.
You're doing this like the same thing you did for Wheel of Time, but for Halo.
Small chance.
Thought you learned from that.
It could actually be based and offended all the shills that they're like, this is not progressive enough. Downvote.
No. As much as I love horseshit.
I said tiny chance. I'm not, which means I don't think it's the case, but there's that.
Like, Oz, wouldn't it be great if the first episode we expect what we expect, episode 2 happens, there's no more politics, the people who we were not at die, and it's just Chief kicking butt for the next
That would be great. But
8
that ain't what we're
episodes.
getting.
I know.
We're
I'm just saying, Oz, imagine a world.
No. Because
Imagine a world, Oz.
Imagine all the Halo shows.
Don't even.
It's a hippie song, by the way.
That's a satanic song.
Commie hippie song.
Satanic song. Well, hippie, yeah, there you go. No, but like they've released details. The reviewers have been like, "Hey, this is the case." Like,
Yeah,
the main
it's
character
not
is,
looking good.
Yeah, you know that it's really woke when a female reviewer who's in Hollywood is like, "Yeah, there's too much female representation in this."
Oh, they said that?
Yeah, she said it.
Oh,
After being like,
my
"It's great to
goodness.
see." Yeah.
Oh, this show's going to be so bad.
She said, I've never played Halo. I did cursory research, and it's nothing like it. This show, you'd think a show called Halo would be about the Marines and the soldiers and war. No, it's about politicians and scientists.
Ooh.
This is gonna suck. I'm gonna try and keep my head on my shoulders and not go on a mass anger spree. And
Don't even say that, because that's what they want you to do. They want...
Who? The CIA?
No, they're all the
Yes, Jack, yes, they do.
crazy woke crowd. They want people like us to be stereotyped as, you're going to be a... type of bad person.
Yeah.
He was joking, obviously, but they will take
mass
that
anger
sense.
spree.
Yeah, okay.
I'm gonna go around yelling at people.
But the thing that they try and say that they're all angry gamers and stuff like that, it's like, yeah, I'll own that one. We will be angry at crappy stuff.
I thought about it. I'm gonna try and be reserved and.
No, let it out. Just let it...
No doubt that will happen. But I'm gonna start off.
You're trying your hardest.
I'm trying to chill. Yeah. So yeah, it looks like crap. And they've retconned and changed all the story. So I won't go into it. We'll go into it when the show actually comes out next week. The boy who cried wolf was found guilty of inciting a crime of hatred against wolves, and he was sentenced to 3 months in Rapunzel's tower, and he's being released.
But this does not make sense. Think about the wolves.
Yeah.
And what that could have caused.
Yeah, they
Like, actively encouraging wolf hatred
Yep.
by framing them for terrible things.
Yep.
That's one of the lowest, scummiest things.
Yep. Well, the story. Did you hear his story? It was just so obviously fake.
Yeah.
Apparently, he went into the land from far, far away at 2 a.m. You know, and these 3 wolves came out and said, "This is canine country," and bit him in the ankles and stuff. And he cried wolf.
Yeah, and tied like a dog collar around his neck as well.
Yep.
And but there, look, it's so blatantly bullcrap. He didn't even take the dog collar off. There's so many things. Even the wolves he hired. It turns out the wolves that attacked him, he hired. And all that stuff.
It's funny, right? He said they were wolves, but they actually had eyewitnesses and recordings, and it was actually cats.
And it turns out the boy who cried wolf is still crying wolf. He's not admitted fault at all.
Yep.
He's so full of crap.
Yeah, and now the legal system's bending over for him, and yeah.
Yeah, gee, it almost sounds like this little boy is a bit privileged almost in terms of his treatment.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing from before. Archduke Franz Ferdinand killed.
No, seriously, he died.
He died. Yeah, he's dead. We're just finding out this.
This
So,
is really this
rest in
is
peace.
serious.
Well, I mean, like,
It's an Archduke.
why should we care about Franz Duke Ferdinand? Like,
No, because like you might not know, but there's some world alliances all interconnected.
Yeah.
This could lead to war, like a world war.
why would it lead to World War?
Ah,
Yeah, let's check your history knowledge right now.
alliances.
Why would the Serbs do this? Yeah, well, they do a lot of things, don't they? All right. One day we should get a film of all the crimes done by Serbians and call it a Serbian film. Oh, man. Don't ask, guys.
I'm not going to
Don't
ask.
ask. All right, G4.
Oh, I heard about this one.
G4 has decided to add more sex to their crap.
It's the hypocrisy, the desperation. They get Frost
It's foreskin. Sorry, forks in?
forks.
Who gives a fork? Anyway, yeah, no, like...
Totally trashing most of the audience, all right? And then, basically accusing being sexist and saying, all these people don't exist to be easy on the eyes for you, when blatantly they were obviously selling that, right? And
All you had to do was wait for like a month, and then they got in people who were easier on the eyes of the audience.
right?
And they cancelled one of our shows.
So, couple of things. It seems like they thought they were trying to do this is like in good faith. It's like, you know what? Let's try and embrace the old G4. That's what I think they thought.
Too little, too late.
Exactly. No. If you started this way, maybe. I actually think, who's the Amaranth?
Amaranth, well,
the
yeah.
queen of thoughts, it seems like.
Again, and we spoke about this before. Why use the word thought when we have a biblical word that's worked for thousands of years? Hoa, and you can say it in a Boston accent. It's awesome.
But thought actually is a more specific definition that defines the more predatory practices of targeting lonely single guys and young guys in an abusive, predatory relationship to just get money from them.
Okay, guys, I know we had the Muslim jokes before, but I'm not even kidding this time. Jihad time. Jihad time.
We do not like thoughts here.
We do not.
And so that seems to be promoting thought culture by having Amaranth on. So I'm not a fan of that. But even if they were like trying to say, hey, we're embracing no, because you ragged out the audience, now you're like, we called you sexist pigs for liking this stuff. Now come back to us. And what? So you can call the audience sexist pigs again? I mean, everyone supposedly backed up what Frost was saying.
Yeah, is Frost going to jump in the middle of a stream or video one time and say, I told you all?
Well, it turns out I have not seen the exact tweets. I've seen some headlines and everything, but of course she's not responding well, or doesn't think this was a good
She's
move.
so
But it's so contradictory. It's like, so you had Amaranth on there to be easy on the eyes for the audience. She's wearing a friggin' bikini.
Yeah.
So they're absolute hypocrites. And that, does this make it worse? Or because now it's pandering and hypocrisy. Like, if they were gonna try and do the high road, do you think it would be better if they still did the elitist the elitist attitude isn't good, and the vilification of all gamers being sexist and all that stuff is bad. But would it have been better if they continued on to be consistent in their, stupidity, than the hypocrisy and the pandering that they're doing now?
That's a bit too direct, though, right? Because the producers and creators and money people behind this show, they didn't know that she was going to do that. She just did it, right?
But they all backed her up. Did anyone?
No, but that's my thing. Like, they kind of had to until the backlash.
No, they should have just fired her and say, sorry, she was an idiot.
Yeah.
We don't endorse anything she said.
Then they copped
we appreciate. No.
It's a tricky one.
They would have won. They would have won gamers over if they did that, and they would have brought the audience back. If they wanted to figure out what the best financial choice should have been, would have been to disown what she said, fire her, and say, sorry, we really appreciate our audience. We don't think that you're all sex or anything like that. And also, how about you stand by your previous content as well?
Yeah, I agree that I would have liked that, right? But in the real world, right, that would have compounded the problem for them. They would have got it from the other side, probably worse, because that other side has more power.
No, only if you let them have the power. If you say, screw you, we're going to go on and everything, if the gamers would have supported them, they would have had their audience back and they would have grown.
It's a bit different for bigger companies, though, because they're dependent on the ESG thing. If they're seen publicly to be anti-woke...
No, I don't think G4 was that big, right? But actually, there is a big question of where the friggin' hell they're getting their money from, because they are injecting a lot of money into that production and getting spit as a result, because their views are just tanking.
It's not about money.
Like, who's paying for this crap? They have a large staff, big sets...
Central banks, Chad.
You reckon?
For it. Yes, absolutely. This is a fact. This is a fact. It's on Wikipedia. You can read it.
Well,
UN created this thing.
I don't think that can last. Especially for small companies, I don't think, the ESG people will care much if...
they don't plan on it lasting.
Yeah, and so they're not going to care when G4 goes under. And we don't have confirmation that they're getting propped up with that. All we know is that they have to be getting money from somewhere, but it's going down the drain because they're getting nothing in return. And so if they really wanted a feasible business strategy, how about respect your audience? There's a good one. And disown any idiots that you have that go off the handle and say stupid things.
Yeah, that's that. It's more of the same. Fandom comes out like, hey, we don't like this, and no, you're sexist and racist fans.
Yeah, but the thing is now, because they accuse them of being sexist and racist, this isn't going to win them back. It's just going to feel insulting and just say, oh, you want us to act like... Because they haven't, contradicted what Frost said, so they still essentially have that message saying, if you like this material that we are now making for you, you are still sexist pigs. We want you to be sexist pigs, and...
Now they want to be pay pigs with Amaranth.
Yes.
Okay, so, Netflix is hit with multiple felonies.
Oh, yes. Yes!
Yeah.
Oh, like, seriously, the things Netflix has done, and the two big examples is Cuties and Big Mouth, despicable, loathsome trash, promoting some of the most degenerate crap about children, like little kids, right? This is vile stuff.
At the same time, though, I feel like they should have been hit with felonies or crimes against humanity for Cowboy Bebop. That deserved,
Well, we can't get everything, Oz, but at least we can appreciate this.
Yeah, we'll take our wins.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Netflix, they got finally after years?
Years, it would have been.
They finally hit them with it, and that's the American federal government. Tell you what, wouldn't expect Biden to do this. It's his favourite show.
Well, it's not Biden who's doing it. Isn't it it's some governors or groups in like...
Well, if it's the federal government...
No. I think it was this thing is coming from, I don't know, Texas or one of the states.
But federal governments are separate from state governments.
Yeah.
In some, loosely disconnected. So yeah, I don't know. Look, we're not the news because we don't read it. We just read the headline.
And we don't know the exact politics of.
Yeah.
All we know is that they're getting some political thing charged, that court case against them for bad stuff, like promoting child pornography stuff.
Yeah. We the way we get our news is we put the quartering on 5 times speed.
No. I also watch. I lots of sources. Tim Pool is a good one as well. Lotus Eaters. Also, I like to try and get a balanced one. So occasionally I'll go to there's a lefty one. I forget his name now.
Hello, Future Me.
No, he's not.
He is lefty, but we still love him.
News thing. Dave Packman. There's the guy. So occasionally I'll try and listen to what he says to get see what the other side is saying, and it's almost impossible to avoid what mainstream news is saying. But I'll also, I'll look at Sky News Australia as well.
I got called the other day in a comment.
What?
I got called a who's the?
But sorry, I wanted to cut you off. There's a lot of other YouTubers that talk about pop culture news and everything that I do. Clownfish TV, really like. Disparu, I'm really enjoying. He's still making great content and everything. Of course, Nerdrotic, Friday Night Tights crew.
And It's a Gundam. He's great. He's hilarious.
It's a Gundam, RK Outpost, Hills vs. Babyface, Geeks and Gamers. I love all these guys.
I got called a Ben Shapiro fanboy.
I watch Daily Wire down then as well.
The only Shapiro I'm a fan of is his sister. I love.
I think Shapiro. I think there's a connection between me and Shapiro because he was a mall ninja. Like when we did the mall ninja, we actually had a picture of Ben Shapiro that I didn't know was Ben Shapiro, and it's him. It's the one where it's the guy with the glasses and the big katana. Hopefully, whoever's editing, bring it up. Oz, just do mall ninja. Find the one with Ben Shapiro.
I don't think that's actually him.
People said it's him.
I don't think
if
so.
If it is, he's a spirit brother. Ben, we are the same.
I'd only be brothers with him so I could be brothers with his sister.
We're very religious. You're Jewish, I'm Mormon. Close enough, potato.
They're missing an entire testament.
Gee, you can't detect the subtle sarcasm in that comment, Odds. You think I'm being literal.
A bit too subtle for me. Speak slowly. I'm a retard, remember? So...
And we also talk really fast,
Yeah.
We married well. Look, he's very short. Old Ben. I'm not that short. But he also plays violin. I don't play. I'm not a for me. There's some things. Connections.
Yeah.
We're both writers.
He does talk very quickly.
He does. I talk quickly. He talks
not as quickly as him.
I could talk quickly.
Go on.
If you want me to talk like Ben Shapiro, I talk really quickly.
Actually, no. This is Ben Shapiro, okay? He talks really quickly like this, and you can barely understand what he's trying to say, and liberals owned.
Ben, we love you.
I'm not the biggest fan. He just talks too quickly for me. I can barely understand.
I'm a fan of a lot of guys. So anyway, I cut you off. But so my news sources I get from many different varied things. Not to say that everyone's reliable, but that's why you try and get a broad spread. And then we just talk about it ourselves. We're not reliable.
All right. Daredevil on Disney Plus controversy. Looks like those 90s Christians haven't been defeated yet. Thought they went down just before.
But there's already adult content on Disney Plus. They bought out Fox, and then they have like a whole other section of new media that's on there. That's I don't know, some stuff. It was originally a Fox thing, and so they have a whole section of like Star Plus or something.
Some weird stuff
on Disney Plus. This is what we have in Australia. I'm not sure anyone else, but they have adult content on there anyway. And I've had to make a children's account that only allows PG-rated stuff, not PG-13. Now PG is different in Australia.
Yeah, dude, the censorship Christians were like, "It's the devil."
Probably, you're not wrong.
Yeah,
with the way they react to things.
And by the way, we're Mormons. We've talked about it a lot in this episode, funnily enough, and I'll say it again. But we are against crazy censorship on both sides, like the insane. Crazy was it? I don't want to. Was it the evangelical movement or anything? But it was the Christian people that were trying to condemn Harry Potter for being witchcraft. It's like, come friggin' off it! Are you crazy? And they also they went after Dungeons and Dragons for being witchcraft.
Yep.
Well. It's like,
but also, guys, right? Fellow Christians, okay? The devil is not on Disney Plus. Okay, that's ridiculous. He's on Netflix. Okay, he's influencing that stuff.
I don't know. When I see Mickey Mouse. Those ears, they're starting to look like horns.
Yeah, they're less round now, they're more pointy.
Point. Don't screw with the mouse. Mm-hmm. Yeah, secret signs and combinations.
Yeah, I think one of the most accurate depictions of Mickey Mouse was from South Park.
Tell you what though, man, when I was in Disney World in Florida when I was like 12, no, probably 10 or 11, I was young, right? And I dropped my ice cream and I got really sad, and then one of the workers came up and gave me a new one.
That's nice.
Yeah. Really nice guy.
And the individual workers, there's a lot of good people who work for Disney, but the corporate heads and the intense and propaganda that they like to push,
awful. Just awful.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so they've got Daredevil. Do they have Iron Fist as well and all the rest of the Marvel stuff?
Iron
I think
Fist
so,
sucks.
yeah.
Yeah.
It was so crap.
Protest Iron Fist, please.
Oh my goodness.
Why isn't it an Asian guy playing that character? I don't understand. Like, that's a perfect opportunity.
I actually don't think he's an Asian character in the comics.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh. He should be. He's a kung fu man.
Are you assuming their cultural identity, Oz? Just because martial arts, it has to be an Asian person?
Kind of, yeah.
Well, that's just assuming their cultural identity.
I just want my diversity. Look at Matrix. Even bloody Keanu Reeves is part Asian.
I didn't see
And
that.
he knows kung fu.
I didn't see that.
What do you mean? You didn't see that? You
I
didn't
didn't
see
see
that
the
he's part Asian?
I didn't see it.
It's clear that he's part Asian.
I like that I'm partially race blind. I like, because I don't want to judge people according to race or anything like that. Just the content of the character. I never would have picked out Tim Pool to be part Korean.
Well, I'm not going to walk up to someone and be like, "Hi, you're Asian," but I'm going to be like, "Oh, where are you from?"
Like,
speak to a man in a language that he understands. It goes to his head. Speak to a man in his own language. It goes to his heart.
She's not she's an awful person, Markle, the Meghan Markle thing, right?
Meghan Markle.
When I saw her in, is it Mad Men or no, not Mad Men, Suits.
That's a good show.
I actually didn't realise that she was part African American. I just thought
Really?
strong tan.
Dude, there's a lot of
Like I said, I know it's kind of obvious. Like, how could you miss that? But I don't pick up. I don't think I'm not always on the lookout for white person, black person.
Well, neither
doesn't friggin' matter.
Neither are we, but like, I understand what different races look like, and so when I spot them,
We should all just race blind it all.
I like diversity. I like diversity of
I don't
stuff.
care.
That's why the Forerunners
No.
sacrifice themselves in Halo to protect biodiversity.
No. Diversity isn't a good thing or a bad thing. It doesn't matter.
I think it's a good thing.
No, why? Why is it a good thing? Like
diversity in the literal sense of there are differences in forms of life and culture. And
well,
stuff
that's
like that.
see. I thought you were talking
good.
about racial
No,
diversity.
I don't mean diversity.
Because that's what people say when they mean when they say diversity.
Yeah, that's not what I mean.
Okay.
Like,
well,
it's
thank you
obvious.
for defining your terms now.
I just mean that, like, the idea of diversity in the sense that there are different forms of life, different cultures, different ways of thinking. That's a good thing.
Well, cultures, people try and justify terrible cultural practices in the name of acceptance and diversity. It's like, no.
Yeah,
if they've got
no
a terrible cultural practice,
I don't like
call
that.
it out as, No, all cultures are not equivalent.
Yeah.
There are some really bad practices in other cultures, and yes, Western democracy, the culture that's founded on, is absolutely some of the best that human society has ever produced.
But the reason is, right, if someone came along and said, okay, I can snap my fingers and everyone will be changed to the same race and they'll all believe the same things and we'll all be happy and there'll be no wars because we'll all believe the same thing and we'll all look the same, right? That would be bad.
Yeah, of course. Diversity of opinion and perspective and all that stuff.
Yeah, as well as race and
race, not race. Well, we don't need it. If it, I'm not saying it shouldn't be there or should be there. That just honestly, I do not care.
I would like there to be many different types of humans. And sure, have them intermix.
No.
Like, I don't have any problem.
You
with
can have different
intermixing.
types of humans without saying we must have different colour skins or they must be all the same or different. I don't care.
My point is, I'm not saying we should have any preventative measures or any, for or against.
That's what I'm saying. Good.
Okay, sweet. No worries.
So glad we got there.
I'm not saying we should build the Halo rings and activate them or anything. Anyway, Halo fans, you'll get it all. All right. Oh, here's one that you will like.
Random thing, right? I've been watching Deep Space Nine. Deep Space Nine.
Oh, Deep Space
Star
Nine.
Trek Deep Space Nine. Captain Sisko. Like, for a long time, even when I watch him, I don't think always black man. I just think Star Trek Captain.
Is he the Vulcan?
No. He's the captain of Deep Space Nine. He's got the goatee and beard. And,
okay.
It's not the best captain. I think Captain Picard.
Picard.
Not the new Picard. I'm talking classic Picard. I think I do prefer Janeway a bit more than
Is Janeway the prequel?
No, Janeway is from Voyager.
Okay.
Yeah, the Voyager series.
My favourite's Picard.
Picard's pretty good. Kirk was always fun, but he didn't have the gravitas of Picard.
Do you know who I like? And everyone disagrees. Well, a lot of people disagree. I loved Riker.
Riker's, yeah, I do like Riker.
Guy's based,
yeah.
love him.
Mhm.
Yeah. I love basically everyone that's in, what do you call it, Next Generation.
Next Generation easily,
Great
by
characters.
far, has the best characters.
Except for Wesley
But
Crusher.
in terms of the interesting plot lines and stories and events that happen in the episodes, Voyager. Voyager has some clever, fun, different things that happen.
Yeah.
Get in the later season. The first two seasons, but as the season progresses, they get better, and there's some fun stuff happening.
I want Patrick Stewart to read out, like, Supreme Court rulings, because his voice when he talks about justice, it's just like, oh. I never thought I'd want a Frenchman to talk to about something.
What happened to Star Trek?
Yeah. What happened to everything Satan happened to? So, this is one you asked to be put on, and it's a good one, because I started reading his books recently. Brandon Sanderson Kickstarter controversy.
So, it has gone crazy. Like, I was like, what, 20-something million, 27 million?
22 or something.
But if I convert it to US dollars, it's obviously higher. Absolutely going crazy, right? And then there's been people saying that... I don't know, kind of like attacking the whole thing is like, oh, rich person getting richer. Yeah, if you're friggin' talented, all power to you, mate. Yeah. Making good books based on his own merit. And they're saying, oh, one of the most disingenuous things. So they're actually accusing that the success of Brandon's Kickstarter was taking attention away from less known, diverse writers.
For a reason.
That is wrong on so many levels. One, that a writer deserves to be known, his work to be read, just because of his certain skin colour. That's an inherently racist belief, to begin with. And then, that, like, somehow his Kickstarter is taking away attention. Oh, no, and they're going further. The money that they would have spent on Brandon, like, is being taken away because they would have spent it on these other writers. Like, not a friggin' chance. Brandon is popular for a reason. Like, for me, my money, I get to choose where I want to spend my money. Brandon makes great books. I want to spend my money on the books he... Why should I spend on an author that I haven't heard about and saying, oh, you like it just as much? Really? I mean, there's a reason why Brandon... Yeah, exactly. There's a reason why Brandon is as popular as he is. He's a friggin' good writer, all right? Based on merit and just the results of... All right, why haven't I heard of this other writer? Okay? Because there is meritocracy in writing, and I know that marketing and other things are difficult to manage, but if someone writes, like, legitimately the best novel in the world, it's going to spread word of mouth, all right? That's how it works.
Yeah. There was one thing that Stephen King said in an interview that asked him if he'd ever write under a pseudonym to, like, hide his work and identity, and he said he would never do that because there's no point, because if people read that book, they would know this is a Stephen King novel without it. And the same thing with Brandon Sanderson and stuff. If you write good books, people are going to flock to that book. And the reason why those other people don't have the community and audience is because it's not as good.
Little known fact, the guy who wrote The Three Musketeers, French guy, he was black.
Was he?
Yeah, African guy. Well, French-African. Well, wait, might have been French-Jamaican. I don't know, but it was definitely very dark. Yeah.
So?
Well, that's just like, you know, they... Yeah, good point. So, that's the one
Good
black
to
author
know.
that I know about.
I don't get, like,
Thomas Sowell.
the colour of someone's skin means it's so irrelevant to if they are a good author or not.
Well, it can be relevant in context. In context. Like, let's say they're talking about, I don't know, civil rights movement or something like that.
But you could be very well read on the civil rights movement as a white person.
Yeah, but, like, again, experience and stuff like that. Like, if Ray Charles came out and said, I had bad experiences...
There are certain experiences that are more likely attributed to people based on their upbringing, but like, for instance, inner city, like things that usually have a higher proportion of black people and everything. I think a white person that grew up in that environment would have a very good insight as to what life was like growing up in that environment. As a black person, white person, they would still be more informed, even if they're a white person, because they get to see what other black people have to go through.
Chad, just like you get to speak for, like, a bit for the sword enthusiast community, so would a black person.
You know, I will concede that there is obviously an additional amount of insight that you get through direct experience, but I feel you can get informed, very informed, in experiences that you haven't had yourself.
Yeah, no doubt.
By listening to other people.
But there's a bit more credence to, especially if it happened to your community and you.
But this is the thing, if someone writes a great book about someone's experience, a character in the book, regardless of colour or anything, and if it's authentic, true, and brilliant...
Like To Kill a Mockingbird.
Yeah. Brilliant, awesome, okay? And the fact that if they were black or white as the author, if the results are just as good, it doesn't matter. And so... Yeah, it reveals a lot of people's twisted mindsets about the result of this. Some people even saying that he should donate some of his proceeds to authors
Black
of
Lives
colour
Matter.
and things like that. It's like, no, don't feel obligated to do that at all, Brandon.
Hey, did you hear Black Lives Matter founder got arrested for embezzlement?
I've heard things like the proceeds of it have just been...
Yeah,
stolen.
So you're
so
telling me you started a charity and now you own 4 houses? Yeah, I didn't need to do an investigation for that one.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah. Now let's try the Clinton Foundation.
So I want to make sure if there's anything else, because I actually have a lot of thoughts about the Brandon Sanderson Kickstarter.
Guy's a great writer.
Absolutely phenomenal. And I've worked with Brandon before. I was the consultant on Stormlight Archives 4 for the Weapons and Armor. You can literally open the acknowledgements. I'm there.
I was listening to the acknowledgements, and then your name came out. I'm like, hey, Shan!
There you go.
Yeah.
Brandon,
actually awesome.
He's a phenomenal guy, one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. And so the fact that people would be disparaging him for being successful is disgusting.
But it's just more commie stuff, man. Like these liberals, they want to redistribute the wealth.
And one person was even saying that Brandon's success is a result of his white privilege. And that pisses me off so much. I followed Brandon's career very closely because he was an inspiration to me. He wrote like 12 novels. All of them got rejected except one or two, and he had to wait a year to even get a response. And that was one of his later novels. It was Elantris that finally, and he couldn't even land a literary agent, getting it rejected everywhere. And the way he landed the agent he had was because Tor, after a year, finally read Elantris and said, hey, we'd like to do something with this. And then Brandon was able to approach Joshua Bilmes with, saying, guess what? Tor Books wants to publish a novel. Would you like to represent me now? He worked friggin' hard. Damn hard to achieve what he has, and the fact that people are like lessening that because of the color of his skin just makes me so angry. And if you want to talk about white privilege and everything like that, literally heaps of companies in the world are giving preference to diverse applicants. They're actually turning away white people, on the color of their skin and preferencing diversity in the modern day right now. And so it's actually less likely that you will be picked up by an agent, be published, everything like if you're white these days. And so where's the privilege in that?
Yeah, like in Britain, like they literally have, it's legal to be like, we won't hire you if you're white, and they have it all over the thing. Like, no, this application is only open for people of color and LGBT and stuff like that.
It's utterly racist.
But hey, on the topic of Brandy and his great writing, like I just want to say, if you're not into books or audiobooks, but you love fantasy stuff, seriously, check out the audiobooks from Brandon Sanderson.
Huge recommendation.
I have cried multiple times. They brought me to tears. Mistborn, end of that, brought me to tears. Amazing. And several times from Kaladin in Stormlight Archives. Great.
Kaladin's not in Stormlight Archives.
Yes, he is.
Oh, sorry. I'm an idiot.
That's fine. We all make mistakes.
I got that
I forgive you. See,
I was thinking of, when you said Kaladin, I was thinking of Kelsier. They both start with it.
Oh, yeah. K.
Yeah. Also, you could check out my novel, Shadow of the Conqueror. That's also available if you're interested.
It's a great refutation of communism. Excellent work. I'm a fan already. I was a fan as soon as I heard it.
Well, this is the actual thing. I needed my character is a former dictator. He's a deposed tyrannical emperor. And so I needed a logic to explain what led him to becoming a tyrannical emperor, and I wanted to be historically grounded. And so what horrible ideologies can lead to totalitarian rule? Well, I looked to history. And
you chose the worst possible one. Like the worst ideology to ever happen.
It's interesting. I did not realize there were so many parallels between my main character, Dalen, and Stalin. Like, I drew from multiple historical figures. I drew from Napoleon Bonaparte, Henry VIII.
Wait, what did Napoleon Bonaparte do?
In terms of his ability, his warfare ability, his tactical ability, and stuff like that.
But otherwise, he was pretty good.
But also Henry VIII, Genghis Khan. There are specific things that I drew from in many historical things, and a bit of Stalin, but I didn't like only Stalin, right? But then after I wrote the book, I was watching a documentary that gave far more information about Stalin in a deep way of what he did, and he was literally doing things that I have my main character Dalen doing that are direct parallels, and I'm like, all right then, I wasn't expecting that. But what was interesting, my character ended up doing those things through a logical process of when I was thinking, what would a person of this mindset do in this situation? And that led me to the exact same choices in many specifics of what Stalin did. It was like, that gave me a bit of validation of how true that approach was and how it worked out. Because
I just would like to correct you though. What? The only thing that Napoleon ever did wrong was be French. Otherwise, he was great. And if he won, we'd all be speaking French right now, but we'd be proud to.
You know what's another interesting? Oh, also a little bit of Hitler in Dalen, my main character as well.
You gotta have a little bit of Hitler in it.
But there was a little bit of Hitler in him as well. But what's interesting, my character is controversial. Like and so some people they hate my book because they can't deal with the character.
Yeah,
right?
Former dictator's still a dick though. Yeah.
Heaps of people love it for that as well. So he's very controversial. But what's interesting, out of all the atrocities he did, right, you can draw a parallel between the thing that my main character did to a real historical figure, right? And in each parallel, the historical figure actually did it far worse. There's no one thing my Dalen does
The truth is stranger than fiction.
that is actually worse than real historical certain dictators in the past. But I did kind of wrap it all up in one package. I combine multiple, and that might be what pushes people over the edge.
That's where the nuances of your story is, the nature of forgiveness, and where does it begin and end?
Going back to Brandon's thing, right? Yeah, I just find it so disgusting that people are thinking that he's successful just because of white privilege. If Brandon was black and he worked just as hard, he would be just as successful. I have no doubt about that, okay? This is the thing. This is one of the great things about capitalism. It's colorblind. If you can make someone money, a business money or anything like that, they will hire you. Especially, look, I'm not saying there isn't a racist past in many parts of the world, all right? But for the publishing industry, especially in the time that Brandon was being published, it wouldn't have mattered. Here's a good book. And in actual fact, they might even privileged him more because he was black, because of the, hey, we've got a diverse author thing, and they actually do promote that more than white people. All right?
Well, capitalism is colorblind, but people aren't.
People aren't.
Yeah, that's the... But still, because capitalism is colorblind, everyone's free to make their own decisions. So, yeah.
But seriously, publishing industry, they want to make money. If someone comes with an awesome book, they're like, you reckon there's these racist publishing heads and literary agents like, this is a great book, but I'm going to turn you down because you're black.
Well, maybe whoever publishes Mein Kampf still, because that's still getting sold.
But for most, this is the reality that people hate. Most people in the world, in the West, right, are actually not racist.
Do you know
the large, vast majority of people are not. But the thing is, to get victim points and everything like that, they need to be oppressed and then get their support. And if they don't have enough talent to make it on their own, well, if they can get some affirmative action to help them out, well, they'll play the victim happily, which is disgusting.
Do you know...
I'm not saying all minorities do this. I'm saying I feel it's the disingenuous ones. Sorry, can I finish off? I want to finish off a point,
It's
right?
related to writing.
But I'll just finish a point. Why do you think Juicy Smollett went out of his way to become he actually made a situation to become a victim, right? He wanted to be victimized so much. Why? Because there's benefit in victimhood. He thought he would get a raise through it, he'd get sympathy and all things. He wanted to be a victim so much that there wasn't enough racism in the world for it, he created it. Here's a person who's claiming, oh, racism bad, but actually wants the world to be racist so he could be a victim and benefit from it. That's categorical proof about the currency in victimhood, okay? People want to be, not everyone, but a lot of people want to be victims and profit from it as a result. Disgusting. And again, lack of merit. He wasn't getting the money that he wanted, he felt he was entitled to. Maybe it's just because you weren't as good an actor as he thought, mate.
Yeah. Well, yeah. But back to the writing thing. Do you know the United Nations? They have a publishing company for their literature. Do you know what the street address used to be before they changed it? 666 Lucifer Road. It wasn't exactly, but it was.
So bizarre that it could be true.
No, it actually is true, and they did change it because people noticed.
It was too truthful.
Yeah. Based.
Oh, goodness.
I will red pill them yet. All right. Nathan's actually ahead of you, by the way. Maybe he's just not saying anything and be like, sure, us, but he's beaten you in the race so far. Yeah, just say no, disavow.
I disavow everything else says.
Yeah. That's the safer way to go.
Yes.
All right. Disney Plus is trialing ads. Did we do this?
You already talked about it with Microsoft.
Starfield leaks and info released. Not like there was leaks, but then there was also, they put out videos, with Todd Howard and some of the dev team heads and stuff like that. and just looks like more of the same. Like, yeah, it's the best thing since sliced bread. We invented new technology. We've gone to the moon for this one to get real.
Was it 16 times the detail?
16 times.
16 times the detail.
Yeah.
No, I don't believe anything
No.
Bethesda says. Show me the game. And
Exactly. I won't believe it. Not even if I see it, I won't believe it. I have to be playing it to actually believe it, because they have no credibility.
Exactly.
Todd Howard has no credibility. Even their duffel bags weren't proper.
But the
duffel
release of Fallout 76 was the biggest dumpster fails ever.
Ironically, had really bad fallout.
Oh my goodness!
And he was in the chess club.
He wasn't in the chess club.
That is probably the biggest lie.
He looks like he should be, but he wasn't.
That was the shocking thing. Yeah.
Is there anything else?
Because
this is all on Nightly News, I think.
Oh yeah, well that's all I've got written down.
Look, I've got one thing. It isn't necessarily related to Nightly News. It's more political than what I would usually say.
I want to hear it.
But it was trending on Twitter, and I think it's pretty funny to point out.
Okay.
So, our good old Prime Minister Scott Morrison.
ScoMo, the scumbag.
He's had a bit of problem with the women. There's been some calling outs.
Allegations?
Allegations, people calling him misogynist.
A politician doing things against women.
Yeah, telling women to smile during photos. There's,
how dare he!
Lots of things like that.
But hang on. So, is there any legitimacy to any of that, or is it all that bullcrap?
What he's done, right, is he's made this women's network in his party.
Okay.
And so he's going to get these women politicians to come and do some work for him.
Formative action pandering bullcrap.
And they've released the logo.
That's it.
And I'll tell you what, they have to have done this on purpose. This was not a mistake.
Let's see.
And it's the extending cylinder, the extending bulge is perfectly in line with the men's part of women's.
I was used to this kind of crap.
I mean, it was either on purpose or they're that oblivious. Like, are they blind? Do they not?
Well, it's good to see that just from the logo they're using protection. You can, anyway, that wasn't that great. But yeah.
That was trending on Twitter, and I had to say it.
Can you send that so I can put it in the thing so people can see what we just saw?
Okay.
Yeah, dude. But about logos representing. Have you seen the World Economic Forum's logo, where it's got like they've got an outer circle, and then since there's 3 O's in each word, right? And the outer circle goes through all the O's of the other words, and it looks like 666. Have you seen it? It literally lines up perfectly. Dude, again, it's the Bible is completely true. It is. You know.
And if you want more prophecies of the last day, go check out the Book of Mormon and Doctrine and Covenants, because oh boy!
But Shad, biblical history just ended. We have a cutoff date, man.
Even though the Book of St. John was written after the Book of Revelations.
Yeah.
And so if the statement of the Book of Revelations do not add to or take away from this book of prophecy referred to the whole Bible, that would discount the entire Book of St. John.
Yeah.
Maybe it was referring to the specific Book of Revelations.
Well, the Council of Nicaea, they added that at the end, didn't they? They're like, oh, let's take this and put it here.
Yeah. Obviously things have been added to the Bible. Otherwise, because the first 5 books of, in the Bible, Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy, are supposed to have been written by Moses himself. Yet, who wrote about Moses' death then? In Deuteronomy. Actually, is that in Deuteronomy? Anyway, there's an account of Moses' death in one of the first 5 books of Moses. Obviously, it wasn't written by him. Someone must have added that in. Anyway.
I saw a meme today where it's like, my parents in their 30s, let's buy a house, yay! Me in my 30s, another chapter of Revelations was completed today.
Oh, and just on another thing, the Bible is a collection of different books. It wasn't even compiled as the Bible when Revelations was written, and that statement over that you should not add to or take away from this book of prophecy in Revelations, it was impossible to have referred to the completed Bible because it wasn't compiled as the Bible. Yeah. The Bible originally originates from the word La Biblia, which means the book of books. Yeah. The book comprised of other books, separate books. Also the ultimate book, but the book...
Greatest story ever told.
But the fact that so many people try and use that statement at the end of Revelation to say, you can't have any more prophecy. It's, do you know there were additional treatises that Paul wrote to the saints and everything like that were lost? What if we found one of those? one of the other, letters that the apostles wrote is like, no, that's false prophecy because it wasn't voted on in the Council of Nicaea to put in the manual.
Just remember, guys, whether you're an atheist, Christian, Muslim, anything.
Mormons are right.
Well, I was going to say God loves you.
And Mormons are right.
Unless you're a vegan. In which case we will consume you too. You are meat.
That's actually going to trigger certain religious people, because someone has even already tried to attack me specifically for being a Mormon, calling me a hypocrite. It's like, oh really?
Also, I just realised that there are certain religions that are vegan, so I was just joking. Yeah.
Anyway,
atheist vegans though.
This is nightly news.
This was
nightly news.
Yeah.
We're at the end now.
So remember, people, stay watchful.